Hello everyone, in today's video, we will dive into the usage of the SUMIF and SUMIFS functions in Excel. We have a dataset consisting of city, product, sales, and month. Let's explore how to leverage these functions effectively. First, let's examine the SUMIF function. Enter the formula, selecting the criteria range as city and the criteria as Paris. Choose the sales column as the sum range from the dataset. As we observe, the result is accurate. By changing the criteria from Paris to London, we can see the result updates accordingly. However, manually applying this method can become challenging for large datasets or multiple criteria. To address this, let's make the formula dynamic using the unique function. Apply the unique function to the city range. And notice how it automatically updates when new unique cities are added. Similarly, obtain unique values for products and months from the dataset. Now, we have obtained the unique values for the required columns from our dataset. Next, let's add data validation for the city under the data ribbon. Change the validation to a list and select the unique cities as the source. Repeat this process for products and months using their respective unique values. For the SUMIF function, select the criteria range as city, but instead of manually entering the city name, select the cell with the city value. Choose the sales column as the sum range. By changing the city selection, the result will update accordingly. Repeat this process for products by changing the criteria range and criteria value while keeping the same sales range. Upon changing the values in the drop-down, the result will update accordingly. Verify the accuracy of the result by using the AutoSum function on sales and subtracting the product sum output. To calculate the sum of sales month-wise, enter the same formula, but this time, change the criteria source with the same sales range. Upon changing the values in the drop-down, the result will update accordingly. Now, let's move on to the SUMIFS function, which allows us to utilize 4 different criteria. We can use the same drop-down values for learning this function. Enter the formula, noting that the SUMIFS function has the sum criteria at the beginning, unlike SUMIF. Select the sum range criteria as city with the corresponding cell reference and criteria as product with the respective cell reference. Changing the drop-down values will update the result accordingly. Repeat this process for city and month criteria, selecting the sum range criteria as city and second criteria as month. For product and month, utilize the same formula while changing the criteria reference. Finally, for all conditions, select the sum range. First criteria for city, second for product, and finally for month. This comprehensive formula provides the desired result. Changing the city to London and making adjustments to the dataset will reflect the changes in the result. In scenarios where no criteria are met, the formula will return 0. Feel free to experiment with your dataset and formulas to observe how the results update dynamically. Thank you for watching the video, and stay tuned for more Excel tutorials.